Namaskar. I am Assistant Professor Kritika Dev from LG School of Law, and today we'll be dealing with, of course, Indian Penal Code, and the section we'll be dealing with in today's session is criminal breach of trust. Now, criminal breach of trust, of course, two combinations, right? When it comes to criminal breach, we understand about the contract, breach of contract. You must have heard about contract. But what is there when it comes to criminal breach of trust? Can there be breach of trust as well? And even if it is there, does that amount to an offense? Quite, you must be getting some doubts in your mind. So let's not continue with the doubts for more time, and let's see what actually criminal breach of trust is. Now here is the section 405 of the Indian Penal Code deals with criminal breach of trust. Let's read what the section says. Whoever being in any manner interested with property or with any dominion over property dishonestly misappropriates. No, the term dishonestly misappropriates. You remember the last session? Yes. Or converts to his own use that property, or dishonestly uses or disposes of that property in violation of any direction of law prescribing the mode in which such trust is to be discharged, or of any legal contract, express or implied, which he has made touching the discharge of such trust, or willfully suffers any other person so to do, commits criminal breach of trust. The term was so small, right? And the definition is so long. But we need not worry about that. We have the solution for it. And that is, of course, the ingredients. But before moving on to the ingredients, you can see that the first line, as you can see here, whoever being in any manner interested with the property. After that, the two lines are the same as we could see in criminal misappropriation of the property, which says dishonestly misappropriates or converts to his own use. Like these two lines are similar. Right now, how is it relevant? That will get clear with the help of the ingredients. Now, here the first and most important thing is the first ingredient, that is accused interested with the property. Now, when somebody is interested, when somebody has been shown that very faith that the property will be taken care of, and then when somebody breaches it, then there is criminal breach of trust. Of course, there has to be trust between the parties initially, only then there can be breach of it. For say, when we talk about breach of contract, now for breach of contract there has to be a contract first, right? So here likewise, here before having the breach of or criminal breach of trust, there has to be element of trust between the two parties. So the accused must have been entrusted with the property, right? Let's take an example here. For say, these days we move abroad, we go to other countries, or whenever we plan like going to other countries, we generally give our car or some important furniture to some people to take care of it. For say, I've given it to a warehouse guy, right, in order to take care of the property, or I've entrusted it to any of my clerk or servant or whosoever. And no, I would say a warehouse guy, right? That would be good. So I've entrusted that on him, and I said, whenever I'll be back, right, you are supposed to give me back that very property. Of course, right? Now what happened in this situation? That person is entrusted with the property, right? The first element is completely clear. Now, what happens when I am away from the country? That person dishonestly misappropriates the property. What he does is he he sells that property, he sells that furniture, or he sells that car, whatever it is. Okay, he dishonestly misappropriated it, and if we see the third element, he disposed of the property and got cash out of it, right? And kindly see the last ingredient, that is in violation of any legal contract. Of course, there was a contract, and as we could see in the section, it could be express or implied. So it was of course expressed that I said when I'll be back, I want it back. I'll pay you for your keeping and I want my things back. So here in this example, all the things are covered and that person sell the property. So here, because there was a relation of trust between me and that person, he broke that very trust. There was breach of that very trust, right? And that is why it is known as criminal breach of trust, not a normal breach of trust. It is known as criminal breach of trust, right? Let me give you one more example. First, say if somebody has a huge business, okay, and he has entrusted the property to a servant or any of the business matters to his partner or to his employee. Now when it was instructed by the head of the company that you are not supposed to sell these stocks in below this very price or below whatever the price is or to this party only. But when he was interested or any of the material, for say the person had a big showroom or whatever, and he said he had given certain guidelines for it, but the employee just breached it and he sell it by his or for his own use. He converted or he misappropriated the property. So as there was the element of trust between the employee and the employer, and he broke that very trust. So there in this case there is criminal breach of trust, right? So here the all the elements are being covered under this under the ingredients that we have seen. Now, with this, we need to move on to the very difference also, right? The difference, the definition or the term that we had read before in the previous session, that is dishonest misappropriation of the property and criminal breach of trust. Let's see the difference between the two because it is very important. The difference is not actually it is much, and let's go through it. Okay, the first one is property comes in hands of accused in some natural manner. So there we could see that when the property came in the hands of any person, you remember that road example that one person found that, or I gave my example that I found that note or purse. It was innocently. I could found or I actually found that purse or wallet or note innocently by a natural course. I did not work for it, right? So property comes in hand by a natural procedure. Nobody works for it, and that is the reason it is criminal misappropriation only. But when it comes to criminal breach of trust, the property comes in the hand of person or of the accused by entrustment. Somebody trusts that person, and only then the person gets the property, right? Their natural course here through trust or entrustment. The next one is misappropriates after receiving it in a natural manner. The misappropriation in the first case, that is criminal breach of criminal misappropriation of property, it takes after the natural course, after receiving the property in the natural manner, then the misappropriation takes place. Here the misappropriation takes place when the entrustment is there. After it has been entrusted to you, you have been entrusted with the property, somebody showed faith in you, and then you misappropriate the property, right? So these are the basic difference when we talk about criminal misappropriation of the property and criminal breach of trust. I hope things are clear. I hope the differences are also clear in your mind. So with this, you are actually completely clear with the concept of criminal breach of trust and criminal misappropriation of the property. And with this, I would like to rest my lecture. And thank you for listening and keep revising, keep studying. Until then, take good care of yourself. Thank you.